Tinley Creek is home to Bachelors Grove, or should we say Bachelors Grove is home to Tinley Creek. Now, back in the day when the Forest Preserves was acquiring different properties to convert into forest areas and prairie and whatnot, they developed master plans. And so here is a 1941 master plan of Tinley Creek in cooperation with different departments. And as you can see, they have plans near the cemetery, road to be abandoned. That would be the old Midlothian Turnpike. Now in 1855, they had this record, this handwritten record, very unique. You don't see this kind of stuff every day, I guess. It shows the Midlothian Turnpike. And Section 8 is the one we want to be concerned with, but, oh, that's a great sign. I love that sign. It's in the Park Historical Society. But today we want to focus on when they did abandon the road or vacate the road. So in 76, when they replaced the old fence and they put the new one in, 77, they followed through with their plans to try to curtail vandalism. And so they vacated the road. They thought this was going to do a lot of good, but actually, in fact, it didn't. It caused a lot of problems. But in the end, it ended up being a great path to use. So here we are with a 1930s aerial photo from an airplane. Gives you a perspective of what the road used to look like. And of course, today here's a satellite view. You can make out a faint line of where the road is. It's got kind of a hook to it. But luckily, here's what the road used to look like back when they did vacate it. Dale Kazmarek did a great job converting this one. I love this video. But of course, after 2000, this is what it looked like. And driving down it was quite the challenge. You would scrape up your car pretty good. Eventually, the Forest Preserves didn't really let us drive down it anymore for legal reasons. As you can see, it's an issue. You hit a lot of stuff, especially if you got toward the end, you hit kind of a pothole. But this road wasn't always called Midlothian Turnpike. There was a newspaper article that Brad Bettenhausen had shown me, and he said they got it totally wrong. This was not Bachelors Grove Road. This was the Midlothian Turnpike. But luckily, there's these photos from the article, and kind of helps document what the place used to look like. But a more factual article is a joke that was played on the people back in the day, where there used to actually be a gate that they tried to keep people from driving down there. Even though it wasn't vacated yet, you could still technically use it. They tried to put a gate up. And the gate's obviously missing now. There's part of it. Now, what happened was somebody put some road flares down, redirected traffic, and after everyone was down there, including the police, they locked this gate. And so here's the perspective here. Part of Midlothian, straight ahead would be the cemetery, but as it banks to the right, it's 143rd and stuff like that. So yeah, it's a long stretch of road, a lot of cars. Hard to turn around when you got that many cars in there, I imagine. Go to the site, read the article, it's great. But let's take a better look here. This is great. You don't get too many old views of the road. They used to post signs. You can see one in the distance. People didn't like the signs though. No parking after sunset. Well, they shot it up. They showed us how they felt about the situation. But today it's generally closed to everybody. And you can walk it. The Forest Preserves came out, long story, and they started trimming it. And this is what it looks like today. Nice and clean for the most part. Still has the parts of the old road there. Now this is what it looked like in the 90s when I came out there, 96. This is somebody else's photo, but this is generally what it looked like. And it was amazing. What happened after 2000 is it's a lot of overgrowth. And here's Dale Kazmarek driving down. This is about as close as you get to driving on the path as when you're doing documentaries, when you sign your waivers and pay your money and your fees. So late at night, legally sanctioned thing there. But ow, this is yeah, scraping up your car. So now back in the day, you couldn't even see the cemetery when you were coming up. I mean, right now you should be able to see the cemetery to your right. But Robert Patterson in the 70s, he's got some photos of when he drove on the road. And cemetery would be to the left in this photo. So yeah, it's great. Good old times. Thanks, Robert. Hopefully you got some more material to submit. I know you're kind of busy these days.